Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Terry. I play guitar for Alien Ant Farm, and you are watching Metal Nexus.
So, kicking things off here today at a Blue Ridge Rock Festival. Pretty nostalgic lineup, both the pre-show today and tomorrow.
Yeah, it's funny because I was looking at the lineup coming in, and I have so many friends on this festival. Like, I don't think we're going to be around tomorrow because we're off to the next show, but I'm hoping some of them are going to get here early tonight to hang out. So yeah, lots of cool bands that we know. From Edema to Saving Abel or whoever.
El Nino, all those guys.
El Nino, yeah.
Y'all pretty much came up around the same time.
Pretty much, yeah, and from a lot of us from the same areas too.
So band's been formed pretty much 2 decades now.
Yeah, we're just over 2 decades. I think we just had our 22nd birthday.
Yeah. Does it
June.
feel like it's been that long?
Well, some days more than others, I suppose. we're all we're not the young pirates we used to be. Now we're just like older pirates, like with peg legs and eye patches. So it's kind of cool to look back and just go, wow, it's so it doesn't really. I don't feel the wear and tear of it so much when I look back and see that we kind of created a cool temple, over all these years, and to still be able to do it after all these years is really, really incredible, Hi, Dry.
The music industry's changed a whole lot since you guys first come on the scene.
Yeah.
Is there anything you try to do differently now that you probably wouldn't have done before? Or vice versa?
Well, I don't know. It's that's kind of hard to say. We come from an era when, when we had our biggest success, people were still buying records and stuff,
Yeah.
So it was definitely under a more conventional platform that we were operating, and that's the way it needed to happen then. And nowadays, it's kind of cool as far as DIY, there's a lot of stuff that I think we could have used back then, that's for sure. I don't know about whether I'd do the same. I don't think if we were a new band coming out right now, the approach and the attack would be a way different plan, So now it's just a matter of us kind of adapting to what's happening, and what's available to us, social media and different resources. So, back then I could have really used, that. Back then we were kids, going to shows and putting flyers on cars and parking lots, row after row after row.
Yeah.
And that gets to be a little bit of work, and you gotta have a certain level of commitment. You know what I mean? So nowadays you can just kind of do a Facebook post and invite everybody. Yeah. But you know what? I don't feel like it has the same result. I think that the old school method is kind of it's just proven, over time, and nowadays I think people get a little lazy and they want to think that doing a big Facebook post or whatever is going to sell their event out or their show or whatever, and it's just not the case. You know what I mean? It can work, but you got to really stay on top of that stuff, and you can't just do a post a month out and then people forget. It's just people just kind of move on to the next link.
Yeah.
Or post or whatever,
Now,
Excuse me, we are at a wine vineyard right now, so I need to take a little drink.
You got to put the pinky out.
Oh, I'm trying to become an aristocrat.
So Always and Forever was released in 2015, pretty much 9 years after Up in the Attic.
Yeah.
How was it getting back into the groove of recording and everything with so much time off?
It was pretty natural for us. When we kind of, I wasn't even on Up in the Attic. That was the little span that I was out of the band for a handful of years. And then Ty, our original bass player, had left the band for a small amount of time too. But that was after he was on Up in the Attic. He did it after Up in the Attic. So the band had gone on hiatus, basically. So when we got back together, it was kind of, I don't know, just like a cool love fest. And you know what I mean? We're all really happy to be working together again and be friends and brothers again, you know what I mean? After some time of just animosity or whatever,
Right.
It's hard. We got put through a really accelerated, as as a group of friends that grew up together, you know what I mean, since we were kids, I mean, we got put through a really accelerated process, and that'll tear down the best of them, you know what I mean? When you have, like, rapid success and then rapid, like, you know, decline, you know, it'll put a strain on any relationship. So, you know, it was nice to come back and all of us, like, be friends again. And then we figured out, you know, as soon as we got in a room and started making music together again, it wasn't like we didn't even skip a beat, no pun intended. But, you know, it was very natural, like it had always been for us. And so, you know, we got really busy. We wrote a lot of songs for our Always and Forever, and then we actually went and did something we had never done before, which was we went and worked with a lot of top line writers. So we did a lot of co-writes for the record, and that was new for us, and I think we created some really incredible stuff. So that was kind of, you know, it was kind of something new. Like, I think Always and Forever was about, like, us maintaining, just like maintaining our livelihood and you know, musical friendship, if you will. And then it was also about getting outside of our box and trying some new stuff. You know?
So one of the songs that really stuck out to me was Homage.
Okay, cool.
It name drops a lot of artists. Like Phil Collins.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
The Beatles, the Pixies, Kiss, Queen, a bunch more. But what would you say was the inspiration for all those?
This guy. You know, it was kind of like, we've always written love songs. Like, I mean, we've always kind of based our, like, you know, just our whole thing on kind of like relationship songs, breakups, or like falling in love or whatever. You know, I think for like an more aggressive kind of heavy rock band, you know, it was, I mean, it's something everybody's done through time, you know what I mean? But we've always kind of had that aesthetic, and we were kind of like, hey man, instead of like writing a love song, like, you know, for a girl or whatever, like, why don't we do one for like all these people that like made us fall in love with music, you know, like all these influences and all these people that we really like feel like we kind of know in a way, you know, and that's kind of where it's, you know, we were in Chicago and we were working on the record and we needed a couple more songs, or we were just we were rotating, like some people would record and we'd write, and we were really busy. And it just started coming together. Like, Dryden just started pinning, you know, in his cool, like, kind of poetic, punny way. And it just fell together, man. We just touched on all our favorites, and there's even some in there that maybe weren't our favorites, but like
they fit well.
But they fit well, and we know they're other people's favorites too, and we want everyone to kind of like be like, this is cool. This is like a love song for music. Yeah,
you
know.
I like that idea. You didn't want to make it just yours, but
you
know,
it couldn't just be like selfish, you know. Yeah. We definitely wanted to like. We wanted people that maybe weren't even our fans or whatever, you know, to like be able to relate, you know.
So you've been on tour with POD, Power Flow, and my boy AJ that just walked by from Fire from the Gods.
Yep.
You said last night was Gramercy Theater in Manhattan?
Yep, New York City last night, and the beginning of the tour, this is the beginning of a second leg. We did this tour, not sans Fire from the Gods, but we did it on the West Coast, and just kind of around, you know, like Arizona,
so how long
California.
Is this tour going on?
This one's going until about the 24th, I believe, so nearly a month. And you know, depending on what this weather is going to let us actually pull off, you know.
Some of those dates down south.
Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are. So you know, there could be a situation with some shows kind of having to be postponed or whatever. Unfortunately, you know, but we're out here and we'll do our best to deliver, you know. But this leg of the tour is only like 3 days deep. This will be the third show here. So.
So you also scheduled a European headlining tour with Soil and Local H.
Yeah, February.
Yes,
right? yes.
How long has it been since you've toured in Europe?
Well, Europe, it's probably been a couple of years. I mean, we go to the UK pretty regularly, and we were over there as recently as last October. So it's going on about a year.
Anything specific that you're excited about getting back into Europe for?
Well, you know, the UK is always a blast. I mean, we still have like rabid fans over there, and it's really just a pleasure to go over there and take care of them. And Europe's always been fun for us. I mean, we haven't toured extensively in Europe since, you know, early 2000s. You know, and a lot of that would always be festivals and stuff. But it's going to be good to get back into like Germany and the Netherlands and stuff like that. Like they're always great rock and roll crowds, and they love music. Period. You know what I mean? So it's all about music for them. When you go over there and play those festivals, man, it's
they're
intense.
crazy.
Yeah, they're all about it.
Yeah,
Fully committed.
I think they definitely one up the U.S. festivals.
Yeah, it can be. You know, we have a tendency to act a little cool over here. You know what I mean? So over there, they don't care if they look like a goddamn fool. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, I love Ozzy, you know, Maiden, and they're just like losing their minds because they don't care if they're cool or not. You know.
So, Anthology sold over 1 million copies and went platinum. Is there a magic to it that you try to put on your next record? Because I think, are y'all writing new material right now?
Yeah, we've been working on and off. You know, we've been busy like doing trips and stuff. So you know, we never been a band to write on the road. We'll write at home and then we'll go do some work and then come back to it. So it's slowly but surely kind of taking form. We got like a half a dozen demos now, and you know we're not in a big hurry. That's for sure. We had a horrible label experience with Always and Forever, unfortunately, and that kind of just made us to where we're not in a huge hurry. We're old enough band now, and we want to do this as long as we can. And I think that something that's going to be important to that is being with a good match as far as a record label.
Yeah.
So when the time comes, we'll go looking for a label partner, and there's some out there that are already kind of waiting for music and. Like I said, we're taking our time, but yeah, I mean, it's a trippy business out there now. You know, it's really just kind of it's not about like physical copies anymore, and video. There's no MTV anymore. It's like YouTube now,
Well,
and
surprisingly, next month I think MTV's bringing TRL back.
no way, huh?
So you were big in the TRL.
Yeah,
days.
we did TRL a couple times.
Yeah, so maybe it'll liven it up a little bit, but
it'd be cool to see them bring a little bit of music back into an organization that actually has music in the title.
I personally feel like it'll be dominated by non-rock or
Yeah,
alternative
it's gonna be pop.
Yeah, I think it'll be pop and hip hop
and EDM stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of
that
stuff.
mostly dominates it, but
Whatever, that's fine. That's kind of what's going on right now. So
yeah. So speaking about the new record and everything that you're working on, and we kind of touched on it earlier, fans have a lot less attention span now than they may have had in the past, like we talked about with social media posts and stuff. Do you think that persuades you some to put out an EP instead of a full album?
It's kind of like that. It's like a singles world again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of funny that it's like in the old days. That's what it was all about, was releasing like singles and B-sides. And it's kind of back to that now. Except it's electronic. It's done electronically now. So, it's again, it's just a strange world. Like as far as the music business and stuff. We can't write like we've been in situations where we write for that specifically. When you're in your sophomore effort, you want to get out, like you want to maintain your success and keep moving up and stuff, and there's a lot of pressure from labels and stuff like that, but
Well, Terry, we definitely appreciate it. We can't wait to see your set tonight.
Oh, thanks, man.
And I certainly hope that hurricane doesn't cause you a touring problem going south.
Yeah, it's kind of, it remains to be seen, hopefully. I know that we've already heard one, like Georgia is already out.
Yeah,
we had a show in Savannah, and like I've heard a lot of friends and other bands that like tours are just having to kind of bypass Savannah, unfortunately. But
well, hopefully it's not too bad, or
yeah.
they get rescheduled or something like that.
Yeah, they will. Hopefully sooner than later. That's the thing. It's being a California band. It's got to be. We got to have a little planning as far as like how we're going to get out financially and get back to these shows to pull them off. But there's always like next year's tour or whatever. So. But these hurricanes keep rolling in, man.
Yeah.
I hope we're gonna have to have a break somewhere.
I know, right? All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Cheers.